everyone, it's Ian Scott Cohen, your performance coach, back with another video for our Imposter Syndrome series. So this series is all about imposter syndrome. You know, those feelings of self-doubt, the chronic fear of being exposed, not attributing successes to yourself and your abilities, but just to your charm or external factors like luck. This series is all about bringing you the research and the tactics that actually help us understand what imposter syndrome is and what it is not and how to overcome it. So in this video, I want to specifically talk about the terminology imposter syndrome because it's not actually technically correct and it's not even how the term got its start. So in the 1970s, there were two researchers, Suzanne Imes and Pauline Rose Clance, who first coined the term imposter phenomenon when studying it amongst high-achieving women. Now, the term phenomenon versus syndrome is really an important distinction. When you hear syndrome, it implies that there is in the more formal terminology, a medical model of dysfunction. So what does that mean? It just means that when you say syndrome, it makes us who are experiencing these feelings feel like we're patients and that there's some sort of psychiatric or brain problem that is inherent to us. The challenge is this is not actually the case. Imposter syndrome is not a recognized psychiatric disorder by the DSM, which is sort of the psychologist's Bible of all things, syndromes, disorders, the like, or in the international classifications. So you gotta hear me again. Imposter syndrome is not a psychiatric disorder. It is instead a phenomenon that we see primarily amongst high-achieving individuals in a lot of different contexts. And it can be caused by actual context versus something inherent to you. So we're going to do more videos about the context and how work, culture, school, environment, family, all these things can actually cultivate these feelings of imposter syndrome. But it's first important to remember that it is not a syndrome, it is a phenomenon. The term syndrome has just been used more in the recent years. And so now you can go forward knowing that you don't have any sort of psychiatric problem. You just have a series of thought patterns and narratives, like many of us, that are not necessarily constructive or helpful, and that we can actually unravel and rebuild in a more constructive fashion. We want to reduce the stigma around imposter syndrome because it's not, again, a psychiatric problem, and we already have a tough enough time talking about mental health issues in our culture. We want to instead promote growth and realize that imposter syndrome is a lot of times about situational context. It's a dysfunctional context that actually triggers these feelings in different folks. And so that's what a lot of our series is about. But first, we wanted to get to the record straight around imposter phenomenon versus imposter syndrome. So hopefully you found this video valuable. Please subscribe to this channel to get more of these videos and all these different concepts to help you be at your best. And follow us or go and visit us online at ianscottcohen.com to read full articles that actually break down these things into detail and give a lot more about strategies and nuances. We're happy to have you, and we hope you see you next time.